I apologize. This was supposed to be done last night. Since I'm somewhat well rested, so let me put the disclaimer up. All right, let me put the disclaimer up because I'm going to go review some of the foolishness that I heard on the Blacks for Kennedy channel. Now, many of y'all know that Robert F. Kennedy Jr., the son of the late senator, is running for president. And he had a sit down with there's a channel called Blacks for Kennedy. So he sit down with two panels. One was a black female um, panel. This one is a barbershop one with black men, black males. And let me go ahead and do this. Let me go ahead and play this real quick. See, I got to make this point, but I'm gonna let somebody else make this point for me. All right. And yes, please donate to buymeacoffee.com/Big J if you want to donate. But let me play this clip how I really feel.
It's a war tactic. This is war. Now, this is the difference. People start to get it twisted here. Sex is one thing. Sex is everywhere, all the time. If that's what we use to measure success, we're not too intelligent here. We have to get out of this sick, immature way of thinking. Power is what the enemy operates on. He uses his power to give you those things that he knows you and we are going to fall into. He'll give you women. Because he knows that's your test. That's what you think is power. Here, take all the women you want. I'm going to take your name, your likeness. I'm going to make sure I own your contracts and everything that's in there to make it to where you die broke. Or at least I take the majority of everything once you're gone and you look like a damn fool because your feelings.
Yes. I'm very if you want to know about my feelings, I think the brother who just spoke, this is how I feel about black men on social media and in pop culture. Sex is always on the first thing that comes up. And then y'all embarrass yourselves with this Blacks for Kennedy. You really embarrass yourself. So that's the first thing that come out y'all's mind. Now, Killer Mike is sitting right there. Lionel, TJ Tillman, the two people who were in great. Now, Killer Mike is sitting there, right? But let me do this real quick. Let's play something that got on my nerve. But hold on, let me just play. Okay, yeah, okay. We're gonna skip. I'm glad on here to have let me go to Killer Mike and TJ. Yeah, you can start with TJ Tillman first because it sounds. My God. Anyway, now he's on YouTube, and this is what his whole concern about. Watch this.
After 22 years, as Josh said, men are treated as third world citizens in the United States of America. America has a Title 4D crisis. Title 4D of the Social Security Act is an enforcement to go after parents for money that was given out as a grant. Title 4A is a grant loan that's given to needy families. But yet we have an amendment in 1975, Title 4D, which goes after the fathers for non-custodial parents, deeming them, finding them guilty in family court for abandonment. The issue is we're still operating under the procedures from 1935 when Title 4A was implemented, when women couldn't work at that time. So when if men went to war, yes, there are programs that are needed to assist a woman because she couldn't work in 1935. But they did this amendment in 1975, which is Title 4D of the Social Security.
Let me say this. First of all, how can you say that? TJ Tillman. Now, the whole argument is about child support. Child support. I'm using the term child support, right? Child support. That's this is insanity. We're not talking about education, the lack of it. We're not talking about crime. We're not talking about education, economics, trade. Hell, I'd rather hear reparations, even though it's really annoying. I'd rather hear reparations being taught, being the topic of discussion, than child support. But you want the government to help you out to put blame on women when you help create that child. But let's play this.
Security Act, which enforces non-custodial parents to pay back a grant. What is a grant? A grant is a gift that's something there's no counterbalancing payment. Yet you have people being thrown in jail for a debt, which America, 28 USC 2007, there is no debt or prison.
Right.
And then you have what Josh was saying with families, there's a Supreme Court case law, every natural parent has a fundamental liberty interest in the care, custody, and management over their children. We talk about incentives. I heard you speak about due process. Due process is the backbone of of the United States Constitution. It's the backbone of our republic. What are you prepared to do? You said you pay child support.
I did.
You did pay child support. So
for many years.
So here's my question.
Well, okay. The reason why Robert Kennedy paid child support, TJ Tillman, because he was married to both those women, and he divorced both those women. Have you been married, TJ Tillman? People need to start asking actual real questions. How can you say, Mr. Kennedy, you paid child support? Yes, because he married the mother of his children before he divorced them. Before he divorced the mother. Most divorced men pay child support if the child is under a certain age. You, it seems, never married the mother of your children. It's really getting on my nerves. It's really getting on my nerves how my God. It gets on my nerves that this is a pressing issue when it's your responsibility. The reason why the court does not treat men well, because men don't go to court or read the laws nor men actually put themselves on child support and be and have a, I want to say relationship, have a working relationship with the judge or with the family court system. See, a lot of black men, and it seems like y'all want things to be fixed for you when you are the lead, when you should took the lead into this. It's not, things should not be, things not always as automatic. Just saying. But let me go ahead and
You talked about executive orders, that we have 3 branches of government: executive, judicial, and legislative. The child support system somehow is operating in all 3 branches of government, which violates the separations of powers. This is a historic landmark case that took place in 2000.
what are you talking about? What are you talking about?
2023 is called SEC versus Cochran, which says that child support services violates the separation of powers. You just out of your mouth, you said, I can do executive orders, I can't touch judicial, I can't do these things. But how is child support able to operate under the and violate the separation of powers? What are...
You're misunderstanding the court case. You can't comprehend the court case. The separation of powers is based upon the rulings between, you know what, I'm about to do a separate video on that. I'm going to do a separate video on that, or a separate live stream on this. It's based on a technicality. A technicality. Oh my God. There's been laws by the legislature and the that's been passed by the legislative branches and the executive branches of all 50 states and in the federal government, dealing with child support and child rearing. So the separation of powers have to do with the transaction of money. You, on the other hand, you're trying to base on the entire issue about separation of power above over all of it. You know, let me just go ahead. And I do got links to back up what I'm saying, but I'm gonna show that in a minute.
You prepared to do, being a person that paid child support at one point, what are you prepared to do to stop these people from thinking that they are above the law and violating the separations of powers? It's violating our Constitution.
Yeah, I mean, I paid child support because that's what I agreed to. I never litigated it, and I was never.
But what? Whoa! I agreed to it. Listen what Mr. Kennedy said. I agree to it. I agree. Let's go right back again. Let's go right back.
You said, I can do executive orders, I can't touch judicial, I can't do these things. But how is child support able to operate under the and violate the separation of powers? What are you prepared to do, being a person that paid child support at one point? What are you prepared to do to stop these people from thinking that they are above the law and violating the separations of powers? It's violating our Constitution.
Yeah, I mean,
now you see him put his hand over his head. You see he put his hand over his forehead. That should tell you, nigga, you dumb. That what should be said. All right, that's what it should be. Let's listen to what what Robert Kennedy Jr. said.
I paid child support because that's what I agreed to. I never litigated it, and I was never, but I have to, this is the first that I'm hearing about this issue. And what you're saying to me, some of it I don't understand because I don't understand how a federal law, child support is enforced by the states and family court. And I don't understand the relationship between the federal Social Security system, which was it Title IV?
It's Title 4A is the Social Security Act.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm interested to hear what you're saying. It's something I never have considered, that this is a war on men. I always assumed that child support was something, an obligation that kind of everybody agreed you have to pay to take care of your child. But
boom, you obligated to make sure you obligated to take care of your child. When y'all going to stop embarrassing me as a black man? When are y'all going to stop embarrassing me? This is an embarrassment. I wish I could have had this live stream last night. I would have people come up. But this is an embarrassment. This is an embarrassment. My God. He just told you I wasn't forced to be litigated. I just agreed upon it. So the question needs to be asked: have any of these men, and I'm talking the black men on here, have they agreed to the child support, or was they forced that litigation to take care of their child? You know what? I feel froggy, ladies and gentlemen. I feel froggy. Oh yes, I do. I feel froggy. So I'm going to drop the link in the chat room because I feel froggy. I want somebody to explain this for me. I want somebody to explain this. Okay? I want somebody to explain this. Go ahead and explain this for me. Where TJ Tillman, Mr. Child support is fraud. Tell me where he's right at. Because a top lawyer and Bobby Kennedy just told him, hey man, I want child support too. I agree to be on child support, and I don't see it as a men's rights issue. I see it as taking care of your responsibility. Let me tell you why. You know what? Let me just continue the video. Let me just continue the video because
all I can do is say that I want to listen to what you're saying and maybe start looking at it a different way.
Yeah, and that's the thing. So it's not the child support issue. Every person has a moral obligation to support their offspring, but when you're not following your own procedures and you're taking men out of in order for a woman to receive these benefits, the father can't be in the home pursuant to Title 4A. So the problem is they're acting above the law. They're violating the separation of the powers, and it is unlawful. It violates the Constitution.
If you were living in the home, you would be presumably paying for everything that's going on in the home, your share, right?
Boom.
Right. So
boom, shouldn't you be living in a home? What are you talking about? If you are so concerned, I'm tired of people embarrassing me. This is an embarrassment. I'm sorry. This is an embarrassment here. What's going on, Char Willie? What's going on with you? What's going on with the lovely Miss Not For Everyone? What's going on with you? This is an embarrassment. And I wish I'd done this last night, because I would have had a panel last night on this. But I'm gonna do this solo. You know, I'm gonna do this solo. But this isn't. I'm so embarrassed by what I'm hearing. You would have one of the rulers said you have to be in the household. You're mixing two things together. One ruling is about people who are divorced. The other ones are people who are not, who created a child, is not divorced. Who created a child but never been married. See, I might have to do a part 2 to this. I might have to do a part 2 to this. But I have to do this as a, to get this off my chest, because I got so many content I really want to do.
You say you have an obligation, but there's
the obligation only arises when you leave the home, right?
No, the obligation is from when the child is born. So there's a Supreme Court case law that says yes, every natural person has an obligation to support their offspring, but when that obligation is reduced to a money judgment, therefore a debt, at that point, people are now being incarcerated for child support when it is actually unlawful pursuant to the United States Constitution. And we talk about due process.
Okay. What amendment? What article of the Constitution?
Due process is the backbone of our United States Constitution, yet people are still being incarcerated.
I guess they're incarcerated for contempt of court. Is that?
But
is that why they?
Well, wait a minute. It's for the contempt of court. Well, if you didn't show up to court, if you didn't want to abide by what the judge say or meet halfway with the judge and the other parent, Negro, you're going to be in contempt of court. I swear to God, man, this is why y'all have to be an embarrassment.
Right. So
yeah, that's a loophole. And the courts, of course,
to you, yes.
I can't stand these.
Why are doctors secretly using this weird lamp to relieve sneezing, itchiness, congestion, and all kinds of allergies?
What you saying?
Fellow child support payer would like to interject.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Here come Killer Mike. He's about to come in this. He's about to come up in here. And here is another. You know what? I'm gonna let y'all.
All right. Listen, I wasn't gonna jump on camera, but y'all have said some interesting shit.
Let's go, brother.
Really quickly, because what you asked for was a solution. It's something that I have been thinking about. I'm just jumping. This is not an official endorsement, although I do like a lot of what's been stated here. So I'm gonna stay out the way. But
solution? Wait, solution? You say? Okay, let's hear it. Let's hear this grand solution.
Just in matter of child support to help you better understand. Child support in the case of what you're saying is usually you were married to your children's mother.
Yeah.
Virtually. Well, most 70% of Black children are born out of wedlock. So
I want to put my head, my hands over my eyes, because Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you do for your country. Isn't that what what RFK's uncle used to say in 1961 at his inaugural address? Ask not what your country can do for you, Killer Mike. You asking people to solve a problem that you yourself helped create.
Virtually. Well, most 70% of black children are born out of wedlock. So child support is against you day one when you're a black man, more likely, because more likely you're not married. Now,
I'm embarrassed. This is an embarrassment. I cannot tell you why I'm embarrassed. I don't know how many times I gotta be embarrassed by this. And y'all call yourself pro-black. Y'all call yourselves pro-black, and then y'all do the most embarrassing things to each other and in front of other people.
And this same thing I tell my daughter's boyfriends: don't get her pregnant. If she has a big, huge family that's going to take care of this baby, you're going to piss her off, and she's going to go file for benefits, or she's going to need them. In the case her mother needed them when she was a kid. Me and her mother were together. We were not married, but her mother signed
You
up.
actually have this conversation with your daughter's boyfriend.
Absolutely, yes, absolutely.
This who is this Killer Mike person? That's not a conversation I would like to have. You know what? Let me go back a couple seconds.
That's going to take care of this baby. You're going to piss her off, and she's going to go file for benefits, or she's going to need them. In the case her mother needed them when she was a kid. Me and her mother were together.
No. If I had a daughter, right, and the boyfriend came over, there are some things a father would do. Now, when I was trying to talk to a woman, college, and her father was sitting right there, a black man, by the way. You know what he did? He want to know about my interests. He want to know about what I'm into. What my likes, dislikes. Am I worth a damn? So Killer Mike gonna have a question. Oh, we're gonna take care of the baby. But the question he never asked is, if you do something with my daughter, are you gonna be responsible for it? See, when real fathers who work their weight in salt, or actually would know how to sit there and actually have a sit down with the potential boyfriend, or the guys that happen to be around, they'll have conversations. Even the uncles even if the girl's father ain't there, the uncles will be there and say, hey, how about we go to a fishing trip, or hunting, or some activity, just to get to know this young man. But you're going to have a conversation, well, she going to get mad and you need to do this and you need to do that. Wow.
Together, we were not married, but her mother signed
You
up.
actually have this conversation with your daughter's boyfriend.
Is that the type of conversation you would have? Is this the conversation? Listen to what Mr. Kennedy just asked. Is this the type of conversation you have? And Robert Kennedy Jr. was looking at him like he's dumb. Like, that's the same question I would have. Is that the actual type of conversation you would have? Charles Woody said people don't like questions. Whew. I swear to God, man, this is bad. This right here is bad.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. I tell them, I say, no, she understand now. She is from a great family. Now, I know this is not the case for every girl, but she's from a big, huge family, lots of aunts. She's going to be okay, but you're going to piss her off. You're going to leave her for another girl. You guys are going to fall out of love. She's going to play a lot of Chris Brown records, and she's going to say, fuck it, I'm going. But I say that because me and her mother were together from day one. Her mother did not work. I did work. Her mother, I put through school. I did not put myself through school. I did everything I could to make sure that in case I died, this woman would be okay with my children. She signed up for TANF, welfare, that type of stuff, which helps. It helps to bridge, especially when you're a young family. We know our welfare system has been constructed in a way that excludes men. It gave women an incentive not to have men in it.
Right.
It actually says, we'll come through your house and we'll search your house. And if it's children,
No, you're dead wrong. King v. Smith, Supreme Court case, 1968. These urban legends that black men will spew out online, I swear to God, these y'all better thank God I'm not running for office. If I'm in the same panel, I'm gonna act the same way like I do on the YouTube panels. I'm gonna ask questions. I'm gonna ask questions. And I'm gonna say, wait a minute, hold on. When was this? How did welfare work? Now he just said most men was not on welfare programs. All I gotta do is pull up. Wait, no, you know what? You know what I'm gonna do? No. Let me pull it up. You see, I gotta do this. Oh my God! You know, whoo, these need. I swear. Wait, is that the right one? You know, like I said, we're gonna do a part 2 to this because I gotta dissect and deconstruct this a little bit further. I can't believe that you got black men who complain about issues and don't know the details of what they're talking about. You're out here looking dumb. That's why some of y'all try to get rid of me off of YouTube. That's why some of y'all try to dox me off of YouTube so I can leave YouTube. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't. You said most men are not in welfare. Okay, then what is workers' comp? What is Medicaid? Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
So you're kind of set up from day one.
Hold on, you didn't know they looked under your bed and checked?
Yeah. But ask somebody who worked for HUD. That's why Ben Carson shouldn't have been running HUD. God bless him. I want him to work on my brain, but not control my house. So back to child support. I think the solution is this, and I'm out your way. 2 years. Young woman gets pregnant as a teenager. Young man and woman get pregnant. This is the 2-year plan. First 2 years are debt-free. You don't have to pay the government anything back. So she doesn't get to drag him into court and the court doesn't say you owe us money for investing in your child through food programs, through early Head Start programs. Because in those 2 years, the boy has the option, or not even the option, he has the demand of the co-man to then go to a trade school. You have to go to a trade school, which incentivizes the United States to do it because we need more tradespeople. We don't have enough.
No, how about sex ed? How about, I want y'all to understand something. The states that does not have, that spends less on education have teen pregnancy problems. Big J, what are you talking about? Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama. Most of your states of the old Confederacy, the states that actually seceded from the Union, most of those states don't fund education. And because of that, you see a high mark of unwanted pregnancies. No education means no economics, no upward mobility. So, Killer Mike, what are you talking about?
Carpenters, we don't have enough electricians, we don't have enough people building roads. In my community, the girls are going to college and graduating. They have no men to marry because the boys are not going to college in the same way.
No, why not sit there, Killer Mike? We got it. We got. Let me do this. Let me show a book. Let me try. Where's this book at? We got. I hope I got this book that I think most people need to read. I think Killer Mike needs to read this book. I think Killer Mike needs to read this book. I think most Black people should read this book because it kind of explains some of y'all's dysfunction online, though. Just saying. Just saying. But wait a minute. I think there is another book, and I don't have it on my overlay. It's called The War on Boys by Christina Hoff Sommers, where it details that education for boys fell off because of automation. Not only just automation, the focus of education is geared towards girls, not as opposed to boys. And the goal should have been the equalization of education in general. That's why part of the reason why boys are not interested in high school, post middle school education. Never mind. It's so embarrassment. It's so embarrassment.
Teachers were married to tradesmen. My teacher, who we call doctor, her husband owned a locksmith company. Her husband was a carpenter, was a mechanic. So they had a good life. Their kids went to school, right, the same schools we went to.
But did they got married?
I think that the incentive to solving the child support problem and a part of solving our infrastructure problem is to incentivize young boys who have gotten a girl pregnant. You must now go through 2 years of trade school.
But wait a minute.
No, incentivize not getting pregnant. Incentivize them that education is worthwhile. And sex ed.
So, okay, I like what
Let
you're
me give you
saying.
the rest of the answer first.
Okay, go ahead.
After that boy graduates, you get a further incentive if you and the girl marry. If you and the girl marry, we'll give you these incentives: zero finance home loans, something out of HUD besides an apartment with a leaky faucet and rats and roaches in it, but incentivize marriage, which then strengthens our community, the Black community, and strengthens the greater community. Because
then why won't you get married yourself, Mike? You should incentivize that yourself.
now you have more American marriages, you have people with stronger financial stability, and you have tradespeople married to women of education, and you begin to recreate communities like what Auburn Avenue was, what Edgewood was. I believe you could do this from the executive order, because the money that funnels down from the feds through the states to help mothers, then it can be attached. Well, we're not only helping mothers, we're helping fathers too. If a boy gets a woman pregnant, not only does she receive TANF, I see your face, right? Good idea. If a woman receives TANF, she receives this, the boy now has a must. You're federally required now to go to trade school. And in those 2 years, what you put out on the other side is a person who's trained, a person who has an incentive to marry, and a person who becomes a taxpayer and not just a taker of taxes. I think that's the answer.
I just got to jump in because Mike just took us to church, and Mr. Kenny, that would also help with my issue and helping to reduce the number of abortions in the Black community, because now
I knew she was gonna sideline that. But I drive a box truck, so you can't work for Amazon. What happens is they take your ability to get a passport. So even if you learn something like welding, underwater welding, you can't work offshore because you can't go out the country. What happens is for the rest of your life, you damn near have felon status because you are owed debt that's compounding. So
what? Wait, hold on. Owed debt? Owed debt to who? We gonna do this, ladies and gentlemen. We gotta see again. We gotta do this. Oh, here we go. So 70% of custodial parents receive some or all child support payments they were supposed to get in 2017. Now, imagine, I know people say, well, BJ, it's 2024. Yeah, but the numbers has been skewed because of 2020. That's why I'm going to the last year of stability. About 46% receive the full amount, while the other 24% receive part of that amount. Now, the minimum amount that custodial parents, mostly women, were supposed to receive $4,356 per year. Now, I'm gonna tell you what I did, y'all. Now I divide that by 12. That's $363 a month. What is Killer Mike talking about? People going to jail? No. If you can't pay $363 a month, then therefore something wrong with you. Now it says, but the minimum received was $1,800. Now, what I did, I also divide that by 12, right? $150 a month. That comes out of the 1,800. If you can't pay $150 a month, there's something wrong with you. Ain't wrong with the system. There's something wrong with you. And why couldn't you? And how come nobody tell y'all to go to the courthouse to negotiate the payment? I swear to God, man, y'all, this is so frustrating. Now, I went to another website, ladies and gentlemen. Went to another website. So I went over here, right? I went over here. Guess what it says? The typical child support amounts owed. Wonder if you owe. Okay, here are the figures from 2015, based on the government child support statistics. $33.7 billion in child support was owed during the year of 2015. The average amount of child support due was $5,760 per year, less than $500 per month. Only 60% of that money, the average of $3,447 per year, was actually received. Let me take this, what was actually was received, and let me go and let me do this. Let me do this. 3,447, and let's divide that by 12. Oh, that's $287.25 per month of what is actually being received. So, what is Killer Mike talking about? What is Killer Mike talking about?
So the opposite of that is go to school for 2 years, learn how to cut hair, learn how to lay a floor, learn how to lay some wire, and you don't have that.
No. How about this? How about though we bring back trade school back to education, back in high school? Have junior colleges, Killer Mike, have junior colleges, community colleges team up with the local high schools to bring back trade schools. Like where I go, we get ag classes, know how to weld. Like I know how to weld from high school. Now, do I have a license to weld? No, but I know how to weld though. It's part of the education though part. I swear to God, these people are slow. They don't. They're trying to scheme the way out of their responsibility.
Boys, it's not that they don't want to go to school. We used to have trade schools in high school when your uncle was president. It's not.
Then why not say put that right back into high school? Killer Mike?
And our kids,
I know.
Yeah, it's not our kids want to be chubby. Your Lord knows I eat a lot, but I still got to get up and move my body in the morning. We took physical fitness out of school.
Yeah.
We took, even in matters of guns, my mother took marksmanship in school. She learned how to shoot a bow and arrow. So there's so much that we've taken out of school that we're robbing our kids anyway. But again, I really believe what fixed the child support and welfare, and by proxy Angela's abortion issue, what fixes that is stop focusing on just the half that gets pregnant, because 2 people get pregnant.
That's right.
The woman gets pregnant and the man gets pregnant because financially, if he does not hold up this financial responsibility, the courts will call him to task.
Women get pregnant. Men don't. How about if he gets educated, educate him about being a responsible parent, about being a responsible person, so he doesn't get somebody pregnant before his time, before he's ready to do it. You ever thought about that part? Or increase funding in sex ed? Kill the mic.
Saying instead of using the money to use the courts to call these young men to task, let's get these young men. You're 16, you got a girl pregnant. All right, it used to be the girl would have to drop out of school, go have the baby, come back. All right, young man, we're going to pull you out of school. You now have to go to alternative school. This alternative school, now you go to the Booker T. Washington Alternative School. At the Booker T. Washington Alternative School, you will do reading, writing, and arithmetic, but you have to pick a trade or elective that you can master in 2 years. And when you graduate, we're graduating a worker that can then go work on many of the things that our government needs from an infrastructure standpoint. He can support his child, whether through child support, or we could further incentivize through merit, saying if these two young kids marry now, we will pay for her 2 years of.
Charles Willie said, I wonder how long he had this idea. I don't know, but well, when he was on Bernie's campaign, why you know, what's his name, Bernie, during the Bernie campaign, why wouldn't he say anything back then?
Associate's degrees, and we will give this family subsidies, much like a farm, for the next 2 years until they stay.
And then how is the child taken care of during the 2 years that
we still give them the welfare? They get all of the federal and state funding, and county municipalities. She still gets that funding. Right now, that funding counts against the boy, though.
It does.
It counts against him because the court is in car, and the court calls and it's saying you owe us this money. I didn't have 60 grand when the court told me I owed 60 grand.
That's a lie. You was already the 60 grand. No, no, we need to start asking a question. When did you got when the question should be asked, when did you got this person pregnant? When do you have this child? Was you married? Was you in the relationship?
So I had to go figure out getting 60 grand.
are you talking hypothetically, or did that actually happen to you?
Yeah, I paid over $500,000 in child support.
But because you can't adjudicate procreation. That's the problem.
Hold on, the big words. Don't leave before we get to the TI word. Hold on, before we get to T, just let me finish this part, because he's a lawyer, he understands. What I'm saying is, I gave a mother of my children $1,000 for a birthday party. The birthday party fell through. I gave her another $1,000 the following week. In the following week, she went to court and said he hasn't given me anything in years, and that was not true. What she was a desperate woman, and she needed more money.
That seemed like a personal problem. I really want to say something. But I don't know. I don't know if it would go against community guidelines, because that didn't make any sense. She said, I don't know why they cry about child support. The Negro just said $1,000, right? For a party. But he doesn't understand that means diapers. That means electricity. That means the health care of that child. Again, I gotta do part 2 to this. I gotta do a sequel to this, right? Because this is embarrassing. You pay for a party. You ain't paying for, the monthly, weekly, monthly, daily responsibility. Paying for a birthday party. Hold on. Let me make sure. I'm gonna make sure though what I'm saying is accurate. Because did he say party? Let me go right back.
One week she went to court and said he hasn't given me anything in years, and that was not true. What she was a desperate woman, and she needed more money.
And how is the child taken care of during the 2 years that
we still give them the welfare? All of the federal and state funding and county municipalities, she still gets that funding. Right now, that funding counts against the boy, though.
It does.
It counts against him because the court is in car and the court calls and it's saying, you owe us this money. I didn't have 60 grand when the court told me I owed 60 grand. So I had to go figure out getting 60 grand.
Are you talking hypothetically, or did that actually happen?
No, hold on. Let me backtrack for a minute. Not backtrack. Let me rewind this for a minute. 60 grand. Have you talked to the judge and the officials at the child support proceedings to reduce the money and put yourself on child support? That's what men should do. Put yourself on child support. If you think though you pregnated somebody, put yourself on child support. So the judge can look at you and her as equals.
Happened to you?
Yeah, I've paid over $500,000 in child support.
Yeah, because you can't adjudicate procreation. That's the problem.
Hold on. Them big words. Don't leave before we get to the GI word.
Now, you see, the reason why you stand up because homeboy right there was about to bust your bubble.
Before we get to the just let me finish this part because he's a lawyer. You understand? What I'm saying is, I gave a mother of my children $1,000 for a birthday party.
You gave $1,000 for a birthday party. I'm glad. I'm glad though. We got that out the way. I'm glad though I got that out the way.
The birthday party fell through. I gave her another $1,000 the following week. In the following week, she went to court and said he hasn't given me anything in years, and that was not true.
A birthday party for who? See, nobody. A birthday party for who?
What she was a desperate woman, and she needed more money. And instead of sitting down with us and us having
you gave her $1,000 cash?
I gave her $1,000 cash. I had just had a second.
Oh, in cash. Wait a minute. You gave her $1,000 in cash. This tells me you ain't that bright. This tells me, Killer Mike, you ain't that bright. Usually, a man of substance, if you got a problem with a woman, right, and she's on child and you two on child support, wouldn't you give her a check or a money order or one of those what you call it, where the certified thing? If you're on child support, so when you can go to the courthouse, you can give the receipt. Y'all are so lazy. Y'all want things to work for you rather than y'all thinking on y'all's heads.
We had a good trust relationship. We made love. We made a child. So I wasn't handling it. I wasn't handling it as though it was business, but it's business. And young men don't understand that. So what I'm saying is to get that part of the business that was
we need to teach the business. That should happen. Teach the business.
Have a woman so desperate she says, well, I gotta go lie to a court. And to have a young man say, well, I gotta do anything I can do to pay it. The government has an incentive at this time. Our government says we need infrastructure workers. Our government says we need more kids going to trade school. What better experiment or way to prove that that system works than taking child support where 70% of kids are born out of wedlock, taking child support where
that number is decreasing, by the way. That 75% out of wedlock, that number is decreasing. There's not that many people are having babies anymore. Killer Mike. Y'all try to solve yesterday's problems. You try to bring solutions to yesterday's problems rather than solving today's problems. You're trying to solve the problem of your childhood or when though you was younger. Them things, it's already have been solved. People not having children, teen pregnancies has been down. So what are you talking about, Mike?
Most of our young men are not going to college at the level they did, and say, well, trade school is an answer, not only for this young man and his financial situation, this young woman, but also what our government is going to need in terms of hiring people. I think that the ultimate answer is in bringing trades back in high school, better sex education with young men. I think there could be a federal program that comes into barbershops, that goes into schools as young as, I would say, middle school, and start to teach boys about their sexual funding. I think condoms should be free. I think that boys should be taught how to use condoms.
Wait a minute. But yet you Negroes will protest Planned Parenthood. But Planned Parenthood there's already a program that give out free condoms. Planned Parenthood. Let me say this again. There's already a government program that gives out free birth control and free condoms. When I was in college, I got 2 Ziploc bags of condoms. By Planned Parenthood. There's already a government program for that Negro. Everything you just said has already been done and is already working. The problem is, though, you worry about y'all got sex on the brain too much.
I think that there are lots of things that we can do to cure the child support problem, but while curing that problem, building a workforce that this country is going to need in the next 20 years. And I think what you do is marry the need to have money, which boys have, especially ones who've gotten girls, with the need for infrastructure and builders in this country. You marry that and you radically change our welfare and HUD program. Our HUD program shouldn't be if you're getting money and you and the boy are not married, you can't live together. It should be if you and this boy are married, but you're getting money for 2 years. If he goes to school, you're rent free. You don't have to worry about that. If you guys marry, your 2 years turns into 4 years. And if this young man graduates, then we automatically give him a job or give him preference for a government job at building infrastructure.
I know this your house, bro.
No, I'm finna get out your way. I think that's a good idea.
I like it. I need to talk to you.
We'll talk more about it.
No, can you?
All right, and one other question.
Yes, sir.
You want to be vice president?
No, I'll be vice president because I got solutions. My damn self. I mean, none of these yahoos know what they're talking about. What Killer Mike just proposed is already on the books. It's already on the books, Killer Mike. Oh my God. Like I said, I'm gonna break this down in the future.
No, because he has that.
Come on, man.
He has that. No. Hey, can you please, RFK, please explain what adjudicate procreation means, or adjudicate means? Why Mike leaves? Because he's the one who said he doesn't know what that means. Because you can't adjudicate procreation.
Of course not.
And that's what's happening, right? With all these policies, all these terms, all these laws, all this legislation, right? And so if you can't adjudicate procreation, a man gives life, a woman gives birth. So if we're gonna,
oh my God, here we go. Men gives life, women gives birth. Here we go again with these talking points.
Let's stop with the democracy.
But okay, I mean, just going back, are you arguing that a man, if he gets a woman pregnant, should have no obligation to that child?
Absolutely not.
All right, so
No, absolutely not.
So it's just the amount of obligation, the term of that
Well,
obligation.
it's hard coming from me being a person of covenant instead of contract. When you lay down with a woman, yeah, that's a covenant.
For any man and with a swollen prostate,
go get a marriage certificate. Now that's a contract. And so anytime you're working in contracts, then it's going to be about money. And so if a woman, if you break up with her and now she's vindictive, or if the man's vindictive, now the child suffers because I'm going to make this man pay for leaving me, or I'm not going to be seeing this child because you left me. And so I'm not going to do anything for the child. So it goes both ways, right?
Yeah.
Men and women do that.
These YouTube talking points, these social media talking points are an embarrassment. Y'all tried to mainstream YouTube talking points. Men gives life, women gives birth. Both you and the woman gives life. She doesn't just give birth. This Negro who's wearing the camo pants, camouflage pants. You know what? These barbershop conversations, these street liquor store conversations. I swear to God.
But most of the time you see men getting taken advantage of in the court system because they've adjudicated procreation. And so at the end of the day, if I give life and she gives birth, there has to be some accountability to the system to say, well, let's go have some ease on the person that gave the life. Because you can have a bunch of soil, but if there's no seeds, we have no children.
I'm so embarrassed.
The thing is,
Does that make sense, though?
Yeah.
No, it does not make sense. This seed. I wish black men stop using the word seed. You got your biology wrong. First of all, first of all, seed does not fertilize. Sperm fertilize egg. Doofus. This is an embarrassment.
incentivized based on their performance to put people on child support. So therefore, that child support system is working exactly the way it was designed.
But it goes, but the child support, the abortion, and all those things are all collective things in my summation to stop procreation anyway for melanated people in America. If we go back to having indigenous ways and live under theocracy instead of just a democracy, theocracy was saying, let's obey the laws of the Most High.
Anytime I hear somebody say the Most High, I stay away from y'all. We need a theocracy. Remember what I said? Project 2025. Remember what I said, though? The manosphere is a gateway to fascism. Remember what I said about Christian nationalism? This is what I'm talking about. People want a theocracy instead of having a democracy.
Obey the laws of the land for real. Not the laws of man. The laws of the land say if it's cold, you get a jacket. If it's hot, you get some shade. If you plant a seed, it creates a harvest and you can have fruit.
Woo! Woo! This should be an example why you need to revamp the education system. You got people on here trying to talk and don't know what the hell they're talking about. They're talking, but they ain't saying shit. People with these YouTube talking points trying to be political.
Fruit or vegetation. But we're obeying the laws of man. And so when we start obeying the laws of man, now we get out of theocracy and we go to democracy. And the prefix to democracy is demon.
Oh my, he don't even understand the root word of democracy. You know, I'm thinking about taking this tea and mixing it with some bourbon. Who is he? I want to know, who is he? Who is this? This got to be the most embarrassing thing I ever. Stop bringing YouTube people from the black sector of YouTube. Stop bringing them on political panels. I'm sorry. Stop bringing YouTube people, these Hebrew Israelites, these Moors, Negroes. He gonna take the word, the English word democracy, and then he tried to juxtapose the word demon in it and talking about man's law and nature's law. Doing all that pseudo foolishness. I gotta blame the women who have sex with this man. Any woman that lays down with this man, you're dumb. Any woman that got with this man, you deserve what you got. Because he ain't talking about he ain't talking about no reforming the education system. He ain't talking about criminal justice reform. He ain't talking about economics. Hell. He not even bringing up reparations. I really don't care about reparations, but hell, I already have that discussion. Then this foolishness, what he's talking about. Now I bet. Now I had not played his part. Let me want to bet. Is he a Hebrew Israelite? He's a Moor, or he's one of those we was Indians once. Or we want them to Kemet. We was Canes type Negroes. I want to ask people which of these cliques, quote unquote, philosophies he's from.
And that's why the system is demonic.
See, even he laughed. I bust out laughing in his face too. He trying to make us. He think what he's saying is the best thing on the planet. He think, man, he telling people. He think he telling the truth. But this is one of the most embarrassing things. Listen. If I was sitting there on that chair with him, I would have got up and leave. I would have got up and leave. I said, man, he said, say what? Hold on, let me get out of here. I'm gonna take this mic off. I'm going. I would have got up and left. Just embarrassing. This is an embarrassment.
So we need people to come against that. We need people like you to say, hey, you can infiltrate, educate, liberate, and vacate that system because of your background. And so we need people more agitators to do things of that nature.
And quickly before you go, like, yes,
I would have got up and left. I said, who is you?
the financial part of it is very important, but we also know too that a child that receives love and attention and presence, there's no dollar amount to that. So it's like we're fighting over something, that in the grand scheme of things is only a portion of what a child needs. I know for me in my experience, it's tough to go to a school and you can't get, grades, or you can't hear what's going on, or I got to fight a doctor in order to get, medical records or anything like that. I really got to go in there and buck and tell them I know my rights. And then these people still get on the phone and say, hey, so-and-so, is it okay for this dad to get, like, that is not okay. You know what I mean? When I go to pick up my kids and there's a struggle at the front office, all of these different things. And even
Well, what's your backstory? What's your backstory? Stop acting like though, she's doing all this. No, what's your backstory? You must have done something wrong. They always want to talk about what she done. They never want to talk about what they have done.
When you're paying child support and doing the right thing, the system is not doing the correct thing by making sure that you're sticking to your parenting plan. So she could just buck and do what she want to do just because, and I just got to sit there. I call the police. I make all the reports. I do all the right things. That gets exhausting.
That's a personal problem. Something what you and she have to work out.
But if I miss one payment, it's a problem. And it's not, again, it's for people with status. It's for people without status. Like, this is something that is definitely hurting our community.
Our community. You know what? Let me. What's hurting our community? People like you being embarrassed
that you'll have because we're silenced in so many ways.
Yeah. Well, let me just add, play devil's advocate. Mm-hmm. Is a lot of people or advocates of women's rights say that a formula that says you get more money if you stay married incentivized. In the old days, that would incentivize when women were completely dependent on their husband. Mm-hmm. A lot of women stayed in abusive relationships when they shouldn't. So how do you respond to that?
I understand that. I mean, that still doesn't mean, again, that people shouldn't be held accountable for the things that they do, because the other side of that too is a lot of people that should be charged correctly are getting off because of their power or their money. Yeah, nobody should be exempt from whatever this thing is that you did. I'm all for women's rights. You know what I'm saying? Just because I'm saying that fathers should have rights is not excluding that. And I know that's not what you're saying, but I just want to be clear with that, because women are getting their rights as we're continuing to lose ours.
It needs to be fair.
So do you see more of a trend where people are?
I'm done. I'm done. I'm not going to listen to this. I'm not going to listen to anymore. This is really embarrassing. You should already know this already. And now he try to kick his baby mama, throw her under the bus. But like, if I was asked, I say, wait a minute, hold on. Okay, well, why did she have to call the police? See, everybody's trying to deliver the same story, right? The reason why I don't trust the Black manosphere or people who do the red pill, it's always the same story. It's the same narrative. Like, not everybody's story should be different. Say it again. Everybody's story should be different because we're individuals. So if everybody's story is supposed to be different, if everybody's supposed to be different, how come though you have the same story? Because not all women are bad. Not all baby mamas are ratchet. You know what? I'm gonna drop the link. I'm gonna drop the link on this. I want somebody to tell me. I want somebody to tell me, and I want somebody to tell me where I'm wrong at on this. I want somebody to tell me where I'm wrong on this. But like I said, I will do a part 2 to this because Killer Mike just I'm so embarrassed, y'all. This is an embarrassment. You know. So yeah, I'm just, you know, I'm just like you can't see what y'all don't hear yourselves talk. There's holes in y'all story and y'all's analysis. There's so many holes in it. All of you men could have got married. That should be the first thing on y'all's mind. And I'm not one of those conservatives. I'm not one of those people who want to do that the whole traditional. No, I'm not that. But I think though, being in a committed relationship would have solved that problem of yours. But y'all want to do all that, you know. But you got that Negro who wearing the camo pants, talking all that pseudo science, pseudo history, pro black nonsense. That Hebrew Israelite, Moorish, we was Cain's was crap about the seed and we give life and you give birth. Come on, we you know, no, we got to refund the education system. The education system needs to be revamped and start there. Because black men, you're being an embarrassment. I know. Y'all, I know I'm being a coon for saying that. Or I'm being a simp trying to get with women's attention and women's aberration for. Because that's all what y'all going to say, though. You know, that's y'all's complete argument. No, my problem with y'all is stop being an embarrassment. That's my problem with y'all. So anyway, since nobody coming up, because I did plan to do this last night, but because you know, I had to go to sleep last night, so yeah, so I'm gonna do a part 2 to this. Yeah, I'm gonna do a part 2, and it's gonna be somewhere in the evening. Nah, I might. No, I ain't gonna do that on Friday. Because I'm gonna get up on Saturday. I gotta go Saturday morning. I really want to go out of town. So I think it's something for part 2. Anyway, I'm out. Peace. Y'all have a good one.